Hey everybody, how's it going? There's something that I wanted to share with you today, and this comes from the meetup that I did in New Hampshire yesterday. The first thing I wanted to say before I get started on this video is thank you very much to everybody in the state of New Hampshire that came out. More people showed up to the meetup I did in New Hampshire yesterday than every other state combined. I was expecting nobody because the video that I did on it got 2,000 views, which is something like 0.2% engagement, but more people overall at the end of the night showed up to the New Hampshire meetup than the meetups that I've done in New York, every part of Florida, and Tennessee combined, which was quite impressive. And it was a pleasure meeting some of the people that showed up from the Free State Project as well, and just kind of talking with you all. So today I wanted to go over the service manual that a gentleman gave me last night who seems to be a camera technician, and I wanted to go through an idea of what we used to have in America. Now, this is a service manual for, it looks like a film camera, a little video camera recorder here, microfilm camera, and the date on this, it says copyright 1995. Let's just take a look through this. This is for a Sony camera. Now, you have, as you unfold it here, you have actual unfolding pages with schematics on them. Complete schematics. I'm just going to go to wide angle camera here so that you can see the whole thing. I'm going to try to unfold this without ripping it. This gentleman gave me the manuals to the cameras that he used to service back in the day. And just look at this. Like, it all unfolds in your lap. And you can see the values for everything in here. It actually shows you the resistors, transistors, chipsets, all the different signals coming out of the chip and what they mean. And in the back of it, it'll actually have a parts list. Oh God, I have to try to fold this 1 second. And on the parts list, it'll tell you exactly what every single component down to the component level on the motherboard of your camera is. So literally everything is in here. The parts list, how to take it apart and put it back together, the individual resistors, capacitors, and IC chips. It's all here for this Sony camera. And you could get this if you wanted to be a repair person of Sony cameras. This is a real service manual. This service manual does not tell you, give it back to the manufacturer. If it like X, Y, and Z doesn't work, return it and get a new one. Not even that old. This book is from 1995. I was 7 years old when this came out. This is how we used to do things in this country. And for many people, this is how we used to do things across the world. Nowadays, you'll hear many companies say that we can't give this stuff away because people will copy our products. Is Sony out of business because people made their own handy cams from this book? No, they're more profitable than ever, producing cameras and phones and all different types of electronics that people buy every single day. Did you have mass graves of people that were accidentally slitting their throats or their wrists on camera glass while they were trying to service it because they cracked it? No. And did you have people like getting hacked massively and access to their video and all that? None of that stuff happened. I want you to think about this because the excuses that get used today that try to limit your freedom to be able to work on your own products. The excuses you hear lobbyists say as to this is not only going to destroy our industry, but that information like this is dangerous. Just one generation ago would have been literally laughed at. And when you see it all the major camera companies like Nikon or Canon are doing to try and prevent people from being able to become authorized service centers or not even get access to this stuff if they jump through all the hoops necessary, I just want you to remember what things used to be like. This used to be the standard. This was the norm. It was actually outside the norm if you did not release this along with your products. And we had a functioning economy. Things were safe. Everybody was just fine. It's only today and in recent years that we've been brainwashed into this belief that this is dangerous. It's not just dangerous to your safety, but it's also dangerous to the economy. It's dangerous to one thing and one thing only. People who want you to own nothing and be happy with it. And this is something that we can push back against over the course of the next generation. Something went wrong in my generation. Something went wrong in the generation that I grew up in to where this is no longer the norm. But it doesn't have to. When I did that meetup in Boston, there were a group of engineers that came up to me, or engineering students, I should say. They were about 10 years younger than me, and they said, You don't understand. A bunch of us started going to college for engineering because we watched your stuff. And I believe it's the next generation of people that become engineers, that start businesses, that open companies like Framework and so on and so forth, that are going to undo the damage that my generation did. It's possible, but it means embracing these values, embracing the schematics or die values, and understanding that none of this is radical. None of what you see in this book is something that is unreasonable, something that hasn't been discussed before. Like when we're saying that for a smartphone or a laptop or a piece of consumer electronics, that this is a reasonable request, just do realize that literally everything that you bought at some point in time allowed you access to everything you see here, and we had a totally functioning world. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. And again, thank you very much to all the people in New Hampshire for the very, very warm welcome. I hope you have a good day.